We just got back from watching X-Men Dark Phoenix. The studio's not up. The set's not ready. We don't have lights, so we standing in the middle of my kitchen. Are we upset? Oh, is it confusing? Is it all the above? Is there a problem? It's not confusing.
It's very clear.
Man,
It's a little life.
A little
a little confusing, a little crippled.
upset.
We improvised this whole little setup.
That's all right,
So,
baby. It's all right.
so let's start with Kevin and go in from there and see what you think, brother.
You got my hands sweating, baby.
And I gotta say, what the did we just watch? I mean, unbelievable garbage. It's kind of like where to start with it. I mean, the first 5 minutes was the best part of the movie because it actually made sense, and then it just went to West Hell with it. So,
Wow, West Hill.
West
Do that
Hill.
one more time. Do it in that camera. Let me see West Hill one more time.
I didn't even know hell was in the West. I'm on the wrong side of the country.
Your face? What you got, bro?
Oh man, I I'm actually gonna shed the light on a few positives, actually, because that's not gonna happen no majority of this time. There ain't gonna be no positives.
You got
at all.
positives?
I actually do have a positive. Only positive because my comparison from the Last Stand, because Last Stand is technically Last Stand 2. I mean, so technically the same movie.
Again.
It's Last Stand again. We got to see the Phoenix, technically. The bird, even though that was so hard to see. In Last Stand, there was no Phoenix bird at all.
Okay.
So I'm happy to see the Phoenix bird. That's all I can give y'all positivity.
So
that's
your positive is coming from the lowest common denominator.
Yes, it's the bird. We got to see the
got
bird.
the bird.
Flip you the bird, baby. Flip you the bird.
I told you to spin on it.
Flip you the bird.
Dude,
I got a positive.
what you got?
It ended. I'm an X-Men fan. And what X-Men really means is deep, methodical story. It was just like all over the place. The pace was rough. Had the polyester, wool blend, like ill-fitting.
Super Steve.
Ill-fitting.
Ill-fitting
You know what I'm saying? Made out of upholstery fabric. I mean,
Right.
come on. Man.
Right.
It was just bad.
Okay.
Bad. And then, I know I got a lot to say about that.
Oh, we
I'm gonna pass
We
it
got
on to Brother History here. But
Truth be told, I did not want to see this.
this is a fact.
I only did this because my brothers told me that I had to. I was just going to come in. I was going to come in and say it was bad. Surprise. So that was my whole take on this from the jump. Shout out to Magneto. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Shout out to Magneto because
yes.
he played a phenomenal role. I love that dude.
Yeah.
My man, Second Professor X. I love Cadence. Nightcrawler once again saved the movie.
Yeah.
Once again,
Not surprising.
saves the movie. He's such a cool character, man. If you don't know the history of Nightcrawler, please look into that because originally he was an alien. That's a whole other thing. But it really, like Kev said, the first 5 minutes was a good movie. After they got off the Quinjet, and then it was over. Like from that point on, and things just. Man, I don't know if people say this. If you're not part of the Marvel MCU universe, don't make no more movies. Don't.
Please, begging you.
Stop, bro.
Matter of fact, can we send money in for them not?
We'll actually pay y'all.
I'll pay you my movie ticket price for you not to make any more movies.
Bro.
You make money for free. Just leave my stuff alone.
Oh
Leave
man.
the child alone.
Wow. My biggest problem with the movie was that it was made in the first place.
You're X-Men.
And serious. And that is coming from the first X-Men movie all the way down to this one. We love it because it falls under that adage that we all know, a lot of people might not, that if you give a starving man a cracker,
Facts.
that'll be the best
Word.
cracker he ever had in his life.
Word.
We never had a superhero movie before, so when they gave us the X-Men and force-fed us stuff, we accepted Hugh Jackman, who was phenomenal at what he did as being Wolverine. We accepted the fact that Angel wasn't there that Iceman wasn't there, and that was the original team. Even when they went back and did First Class,
Trying to fix it.
they messed it up because they put Azrael in there. And let me make this perfectly clean and clear. Mystique is not a good person.
Yes,
I was gonna bring that up. I was
The
waiting.
woman is evil. She has no heart. She's Rogue's stepmother. Everybody thinks Rogue's a hero. We'll get into that later about where she got her powers if you don't know. The movie just shouldn't have been done. In order to do Phoenix, you have to have taken half of what the MCU did
Yes.
with their entire series to make that movie, because you have to explain who Jean was at first, the relationship with Scott, and everybody else is going on. I can keep going.
The Phoenix wasn't evil in the beginning.
No.
That's what I was saying. I know.
Let me explain.
That's fact, bro.
Okay, so they went up in the space shuttle to go get the Endeavor down because the astronauts are in trouble.
Hold up. Hey.
I don't care.
This whole movie.
I got a lot to say.
It's not gonna matter.
When I walked in, I smelled spoiled. So, in the book, X-Men 100 and X-Men 101, get the comic books. The script's there to tell you what happened. There was solar flares or something crazy coming towards the space station that they were on doing their Super X-Men stuff. And they needed to get out of there. Jean was the only one that could fly the plane. She took all the X-Men, threw them in the back of the shuttle, and piloted this plane down. The shuttle down. When she went through the radiation, it ate her entire body. Shreds to her skull, and she's freaking out, and I love my friends and everything. And this being came to her and said, what do you want most in life? And she said, I want to save my friends. Take my hand. The Phoenix Force took her hand. Jean was basically dead. Encased her body in something and dropped it inside of Jamaica Bay. We didn't know this until 10 years later, but her body was underground, in the water, healing. And the Phoenix took her form. Phoenix, after that, was Jean Grey, but not really Jean Grey. And the entire process, which we'll talk about later, of her getting from Jean Grey to Phoenix to Dark Phoenix was way deeper than what
in 5
they
seconds
pulled off
of being
in that
angry,
movie.
yo.
Right.
And we'll go into that later. We have time.
Okay, so let's talk about Mystique. We touched on it.
Can we talk?
Why was she there? Why was she there from the beginning?
They chose her to connect her to Magneto.
Yeah.
That's what.
But see, that's fine. But
They never crossed over.
when it was just them three,
enough time.
when it was just them three, she should have just went on over there with the Brotherhood of Mutants. She
was
already
supposed
did. So why have her stick on the X-Men? Was it because Jennifer Lawrence?
Yes, because Jennifer Lawrence is Katniss Everdeen, and she's a star now.
Oh, so that's what it is.
That's it. Oh, and Fox doesn't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fox don't know what to do.
Really?
Remember,
They had
this
that
is
in
what
the
they
cartoon.
do. The world does this. You get a concept like a boy band, for instance. And once you get one successful boy band, you need 200 boy bands, and you need 200 Britney Spears, and until that concept's beat to death. Wolverine was not the star of the X-Men. The X-Men were the stars of the X-Men. They were a team. Sorry, you guys got played. They took your money and gave you this at the end. But when you go to the MCU, they gave us Endgame. And it was 10 years of solid movies. Fox and what's the other dipshits? Spider-Man.
Sony.
If it wasn't for Marvel, dipshits, that's what they are. If it wasn't for Kevin Feige and the Marvel crew doing what they're doing, I believe Spider-Man would have been garbage again.
Of course.
Absolute garbage. These books here are the script. They don't need to follow it to the T because they didn't follow things to the T in Captain America, the MCU, and things like that. But I think we were talking, and no matter what you did, Captain America at his core was still Captain America.
Right.
He may not have lost Bucky flying over a drone and blah blah.
But still, he lost him.
But he lost him. That's the whole point. So you got to go through it.
And then the whole thing about X-Men is the dynamics between it was too forced between humankind and mutant kind. Professor X, he really doesn't mess up, but he
You
does.
talking about the bat phone to the president?
Yo,
talking about the bat phone.
I'm glad we got that.
And then I began to think, like, wait a minute. So is the U.S. government just using Professor X to do whatever they want to do?
Yeah,
And that's how he gets all his money to fund his gadgets in the
Remember
school?
when it all went bad? He called. He was like,
yeah,
bro,
He was like,
I'm
I'm gonna tell you right now, he treated him like he was a side chick. Don't you call him no more. Don't you call him no more, girl. Straight up.
So he is.
This
I'm
is
taking your
like
calls
this
no
no
more.
Man, look.
Okay.
That was depressing. That was depressing from Professor X.
Yeah, finish the thing, bro.
I really didn't care. Spoiler.
Hold up. Hey.
they don't
Stick
say
that.
spoiler. We spoil.
Stop spoiling.
We tell the
this.
truth.
Hey,
If
just
you don't
stay
want to
in
know
the
what's happening, don't watch us. Because we went, you should go. This is what we're not about. We're not going to be unboxing toys. We're not going to be talking about, oh, spoiler alert for the people who are all in their fields. When it comes to other movies, I'm going to expect that you've already seen it. That's your spoiler alert.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
Great to see it. That's all.
You spoil, man.
So, like, the whole juxtapose between Professor X and Mystique was just
Y'all keep
trash.
talking. I'll be right
And then
back.
it went so fast, like nobody really cared when she. I'm like, oh, she lost her power. Oh, she died.
Honestly,
My bad, she bought the real Phoenix. Oh, she was supposed to be in the movie? Oh, this is what she looks like.
look, man, I'm gonna get into personally me, just things in the movie that just don't make sense. Like
Ooh, I
certain
got
people
one.
The whole thing.
Facts. Certain people were strong when they weren't supposed to be strong, or certain people were weak when they weren't supposed to be weak. Like,
Yeah.
there's fighting scenes, like for instance, the whole New York scene.
I ain't gonna lie. I just want
When Beast,
jumped in like a raging dog.
he was like a dog running across the street, and like he got hit by a car, like a dog.
Dog.
Like, bro,
Right.
and I was like, yo, so Professor X is literally the second strongest mind individual
On Earth.
on Earth.
Yeah.
He's having trouble with a chick with a knife. chill. Because I'm about to get into it. He can stop time in the whole area. He's battling with a chick and a knife and some other crap going on. Storm is on the ground fighting. Literally could be flying above everybody. Freeze. Lightning.
They made her,
they chilled. No, they didn't. Because then later, she was OP. Oh, she
No,
was
she never-
blowing,
they didn't
she
make
was
her
blowing
OP.
people out the door.
They
The
didn't
hell,
make her
no,
OP.
dude. Later, she was blowing people up. It's like it's like, man, they choose to be strong when you want to. What's all that dungeon room training? Where's it at? They falling off the ground. Then regular cops and guns show up and knock
that was
everybody out.
tasing.
Bro.
That was tasing
Come on,
everybody.
man.
Everybody got
It's
tased.
it's selective heroism. I'm telling you right now, they do it in movies. It's like you can foresee.
X-Women.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
No.
here's another thing.
Yo,
This is my opinion, and I will probably say more and more on this show that an opinion is only as valid as a person's knowledge in the subject. I'm a human being. I walk this earth. I got a mother over there in the other room that I look out for. I also have a grandmother and a whole bunch of other women in my life, and none
Shout out
of
to the
them
women
ever
in your
had
life.
to tell me that they were strong women. They never had to announce that their presence was there. They exist, therefore they are. So when they threw that gratuitous ex-women line in there,
it was a straight
it
shot.
got a little bit of applause to
Straight
your brain up a little higher and elevate yourself a little more to not fall for little shenanigans like that, because that was just gratuitous. It made an intelligent person dumb themselves down for something that made absolutely no sense. Now, if she wants to sit there and talk about the women have saved the men more and you should call it ex-women, then I put to the writer, then why did she always turn herself into a blonde person? When Raven Darkholme does not look like that. She was not herself.
Never.
In that movie,
Right.
which meant to me that she was ashamed of who she was.
All the time.
Because all the X-Men in there should be who they
they
are.
are.
They're in
Right.
their safe space.
Yeah.
So they're supposed to be in their safe space, but she's using modern day social justice warrior nonsense. I understand where everybody's coming from. If you on the internet whining and every time a man gets on or a woman gets on and you go after them, to me,
You're the weak.
you're behind the keyboard.
I'm trying real hard to be the shepherd.
There used to be a time in the world where learned people would sit and have a conversation and the town fool would come up. They go do get the hell out of here. Town fool had an opportunity to go read a book, go to the library, study up on the subject, and come back and be part of the collective. Now, every town fool and buffoon has a keyboard. You understand where I'm coming from? So these collective fools have gotten together, and it's 100,000 of them, and they go in a vacuum, and now they think they have a movement. That is the problem that we have now, and that's why we got the X-Men Dark Phoenix.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
It's so easy to pass that garbage off to the studio, or for the studio believe they could pass the garbage off, because we have collectively dumbed ourselves down, and they gave us a gratuitous fight and a gratuitous woman power thing. I have nothing against women.
Ex-women.
I shouldn't even have to clarify that. I have something against the machine that is making people believe that that line was even necessary.
And by the way, the women are always saving the men around here. You might want to think about changing the name to ex-women.
Every woman in this movie died. Every woman in this movie, besides Storm, passed away.
The toughest one got snatched
by the head. By the head.
By the head, snatched off.
Why does all Magneto's chicks got that?
Yo, if you have a
dangerous
wait a minute, Mystique was the one talking all that. You should make me call it ex-women.
Ex-women.
There's no reason why you should be walking around blue. Like, in matter of fact, there's a moment when she changes back to her. She was like, she was ashamed. She was blue. And they was all chilling, and then she went right back.
But also, when Magneto in the first X-Men movies, when she lost her powers,
Yeah.
and he looked at her like she was a scum of the earth.
I'm sorry, my dear. You're not one of us anymore.
Remember that?
Yeah.
You know, I'm one of us.
Power to the people, baby.
I want
Power to
that
the people. Yeah, power to the people.
I want that blue stuff.
Now, why does Magneto, the man who controls all metal, live in a fruitopia? He can make metal that he tore up a whole stadium from the ground up.
Right.
He pulled the train out. You telling me you can't make built, bro?
Kevin said
Like,
it's
you
supposed to
can't
be
make...
Geonosis.
It should be Geonosis.
Geonosis was
Didn't
floating
look like
in the
that.
sky.
This was
This
beautiful.
They
brother
didn't
had...
have the money for it. Come on.
Listen, it was paths. Geonosis.
No, I'm at the studio.
You could have had a digital background for that. They should have been living like it was them on Asgard. He down there living in a hut. It's all rocks around. Where the metal at?
It would, but the
Then he pulled his mask out, a little sack bag. Come on, come on, bro. The way they played that out, man. They was out there acting like technology don't exist no more.
It was
Bro, it wasn't 92.
It was 1992. That was the movie.
No, I'm not. No, not the way they was acting. That was 1930 something, bro. They had no gates, no. She just walked right in. There was no gates. She walked right in. She didn't fly in. She walked in.
You with a whole bunch of mules. What you need a gate for?
The gate would have stopped her anyway.
But my whole point is, he is number one villain. Pitchforks and the machines working. Get out of here, bro. Like,
And
what
then
are
they
we
used
doing?
the storm as a icebox.
Oh yeah, I want to bring that up.
Yo,
No,
that was
first of all,
so
Ice Spice was so
disrespectful.
ice me up, Storm. Boom on the rocks. Here you go.
Are we going to touch on the Professor X steroid?
I don't get that. But let's be very clear. We know how tough and badass Wolverine is.
Okay.
In the book. The only person Wolverine actually paused and like, hold on, is when Storm said something to him. That was the only person that I can recall that Wolverine,
be like,
the savage one, is like, hold on. She said, stop. I'm gonna stop.
She's not the leader only because they let Scott be the leader.
She's a natural leader.
She's a natural born leader. Scott had to train to be a leader. She was already there, bro. Like, that was his go-to. That's like the big guns when he needs somebody. He calls her. Even though Jean Grey is the strongest of all Storm's mindset is totally different. It's above it. She was a grown woman. Most of the people are children. Half of the time, she was
That's
grown.
the other problem.
She's a grown
Dr.
woman.
Tom.
Yeah, so it's like, come on, man. It just, but go ahead. I'm sorry, brother. That's why.
She can suck the life out of you for real if she wanted to. I mean, and then you just gonna limit her to some damn ice tricks
And floating.
And
floating.
floating.
Well,
But
no, for a minute.
I ain't gonna lie.
You know what I'm
Was
saying?
I the only one person that feel like the lightning looked cheesy?
It absolutely
No,
did.
I was mad cheesy. I did not like the lightning. It
I'm
looked
like, I'm just like,
we
come
did
on.
the lightning. I
You
could have
know,
did that on my computer.
Honestly, but I like that girl as Storm.
Yes,
I
it was
do.
so
Yeah, she
cool.
did.
I don't.
I didn't like
I don't.
Halle Berry because
I didn't either. They haven't gotten her right yet.
it should
No.
have been Angela
If
Bassett,
you-
but we're not gonna go there.
No,
That's what it should have been in the
Not her
beginning,
either.
man.
Not her either. If you're gonna do
Man.
Storm, you need Iman level
Yeah.
Yes.
actress to do Storm.
Okay.
She is
I can get you with that.
perfect for features, height, everything. Everybody else that they're doing is a
It's
stretch.
mediocre.
It's a stretch.
I
But
think it could have been Angela.
Iman and
I'm talking
older
about the
now.
other-
Grace Jones was
No, not Grace
Lord
Jones.
have mercy.
I'll remember her name in a while, but she's on par. Her and Iman were running things back then when they were in their prime. When you want to go with aesthetics, with looks, that girl was
No,
she was cute.
that was
To
this.
see her in Burger King.
That's it. That was it.
You understand
She
what
was,
I'm saying?
she was just a cute
But
girl.
she wasn't.
He just called her Burger King Storm.
She's Burger King.
Yeah, that's
Hey, man.
so
Chill, yeah.
Not her as a human being.
No, I know what
For
you're
the
saying.
character,
I
for
know
the
what you're saying.
regalness of
Okay.
Aurora Monroe.
Maybe Pandas.
Her eyes were wrong. Everything about her.
I
was
see some
wrong.
ratchet girls.
She be the
Pandas.
fine one.
She
Listen,
be the fine one.
in
At
Burger
least
King.
In and Out Burger.
She be
At least In and Out Burger. Come on,
Burger
man.
King, that's pretty
Burger
ratchet.
King. Come on. The fights break out in Burger King.
and then she can throw lightning.
ice. No, she throwing ice
Oh
chips.
my
Yeah,
God.
yeah,
She throwing ice chips.
Ice chips, bro.
Ice chips for everybody.
I'm gonna get back to when they flew from space. The ship crashed. All the X-Men fell into Jamaica Bay. They all bloop bloop popped their heads up. Jean, where's Jean? Where's Jean? She came out of the water and basically said, "From henceforth now on, I shall be known as Phoenix." And she passed out. After she passed out, the X-Men went on a couple of adventures, but then they kind of disappeared. I think they got trapped in with Kazar or whatever his name is. So they were gone. So Jean thought they were dead. She went on a like a personal journey at what's her name? Colleen? No. From Daredevil.
Oh, you talking about Electro?
Misty Knight.
Oh, you
Oh,
talking
yeah.
Misty?
Misty Knight
that
and
is
her
right. Yeah,
were
yeah.
roommates.
That is right,
Right,
y'all.
they were roommates, and somewhere during that time, Scott was banging Colleen Wing over on when they came back. Jean went off on a self-finding type mission, and while she was traveling, this dude kept showing up, and this guy's name is Mastermind. He's a master of illusion, and at one point on her way to an island, a priest is sitting next to her, and what's your problem, my child? And so she gave confession to the dude, and it turned out that was Mastermind.
Yeah.
Mastermind found out all of her secrets, and then he went to the island and basically seduced and took advantage of her. And over the time, she slipped back into time where she thought she was in the 1800s, dancing with some royally handsome, beautiful man, and blah blah blah. Now the chick that was in the forest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The Dazzler.
Dazzler.
The Dazzler.
That was Dazzler. Her book's over there too. They ran into her in a club. In the middle of it, this dude comes up to Jean and all sweeps her off her feet and just starts dancing. And Scott's standing there looking at her. What the hell's wrong with you? That's his girl. Then he planted a big ass kiss on her. Now we can see it in the books that he's ugly as hell. But the illusion that he made him look like he was handsome, and her brain was messed up. Mastermind was trying to get into the Hellfire Club, which is basically what they would call the Illuminati type level.
Yeah.
They ran the world. His job was to seduce her and turn her into, they use chess pieces, the white king, black king. She was going to be the black queen. After his manipulation of her brain and everything, and messing with her head so much, she eventually thought that she was the Black Queen. That was her journey into becoming Dark Phoenix, because he kept messing with her head. It had nothing to do with her killing her parents and daddy issues. And all
Nobody
that.
cares about
The only accident that happened with her was that her friend, I think, got hit by a car when she was a child.
Yeah.
And she connected her mind to her friend, it was another female, her friend, when she died, and she basically died with her. That's how they found out that she could connect minds. She didn't kill her parents like Jay just said. They turned into a freaking
that
murderer
child is
and a psychopath.
At 7 years old, you turn that child into a murderer.
And what kind of service is that doing a female, a woman, an empowered woman character to turn her into something?
And then you bring it back, and
like
then
that.
and then your father,
you're worthless to me, and dude, I can help you, I can save you. So where does the ex-woman power
come from?
Ex-women.
And there was these issues. I feel like they put that in this movie.
It's pathetic.
At the end, just this movie. But yo, can I?
The man giving her power.
Can I ask? Right. Who were the tree people?
The Dabari were actual characters in the Dark Phoenix saga. They were the race that Phoenix destroyed when she dove into their sun and absorbed it. She destroyed 1 billion. That single action is what cost her her life.
At one point, when she started slipping and getting evil and going back and forth, she got in a battle with the X-Men, and she got her energy down, and she took off and dove into a star. The star she absorbed was literally like somebody absorbing our sun, so she killed billions of people. Shire Empire, her name was Lilandra. Yeah. That was Professor X's girlfriend.
That's his woman.
That is literally his woman. She ran that empire. When Phoenix killed those people, that region was under Lilandra's jurisdiction, and they came for Phoenix. Like
he almost left with her.
Yeah, she's got to die.
Yes.
That's what it was.
And they had to like stall and try to have time in between so they can try to fix the situation before rectify it.
The way they did it was Professor X knew their customs, so he challenged her guard. I forgot what it was officially called, but it was like a duel. By the time they had went through fighting with Jean back and forth, she had went all the way back down to Jean Grey, and all she could basically do was lift shit and throw it. You know, that's what she could
levitate.
do and levitate stuff when she was a youngster and up until the Phoenix hit her. Wolverine. It was Colossus, Cyclops, Kitty Pryde, Nightcrawler, Angel, the real X-Men.
Basically, 100% of
all
people
got together and they
here.
were going to fight for her life. The deal was, if they lost, she would die. If they won, they would lobotomize her and pull the Phoenix Force out. It wasn't some force that lady was coming to get because she wanted to save her people.
The
Phoenix Force itself is life itself. And a human form cannot handle it.
No, they were aliens, but they treated them like they were like Skrulls.
Yeah, like they were important.
And that's why they pushed it back.
And all they had to do was follow the script.
Because you know why?
Established that.
Do you know why though? Because literally, all of these movies are not even cohesive. They don't go together. And for you to try to establish that much information
you can't do it
in one movie,
that's
so
why
you turn them
was doomed from the
into
beginning.
tree people, bro. Because you had Apocalypse in the last one, which
Ivan Ooze.
Facts.
Ivan Ooze. That was Ivan Ooze. That was definitely Ivan Ooze.
You know what?
Yeah,
They changed
Ivan
them.
Ooze.
You know what? You know they changed them, right? After the internet said Ivan Ooze, they literally dumbed down the colors and changed that dude from originally what he was.